Good morning, traders. This is Perry Wilkie with StartupTrading.com. It is 12 minutes till 9 a.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday, December 30th. Can you believe just two sessions left for the year? So looking back at yesterday, right? Uh, Overnight is in the blue for the ES and the NASDAQ here, and you can just see, nothing doing to the upside, right? Had a nice distribution to the downside. The Nasdaq had a little bit more of a split distribution, right around 25,730. Uh, you know, that split the auction, but pretty much just a bell-shaped curve for the S&P 500 yesterday on the futures. So looking at where we are with untested points of control, yesterday's point of control, 69.55 quarter. We're about 5-6 points under that right now, and then we have the untested point of control from Friday's session at 69.78 half, and then all the way down at 68.88 quarter is the point of control from Friday, December 19th. So looking at where we are, it is also notable that on Friday's session, uh, the ES made a higher high right on this swing, but the Nasdaq did not. Kind of backed off from that point. We'll see if it's a one and done or not. Uh, See what's up. And we also had some excess in period A yesterday on all of the indexes. So there are your bogey lines that I would be a little bit cautious, with shorts above there. It could be great trade location if we're going to follow through, but that could start a short squeeze higher. So if you try shorting above those lines, just make sure you have your brackets in place. Don't get all loosey goosey with it. You know, pick your risk and then let it play out. So below there, it's still the Bears are in control, but right now in the overnight session, all we've done basically is trade in yesterday's value for all of the indexes. Not a lot going on. Um, and then so the title of my video is can the SPX print 7,000 uh, by the end of the year? Because that's when these large uh, options go off the board, right? We have basically um, 76,000 call options that expire on at the end of the year here. And then that is also part of the JPM collar that they put on with their product that they have offered to clients. And then as look, they'll be also rolling into the but it's not actually a roll because they'll let this expire, but they'll be putting on the position for the March 2026 contract uh, on Wednesday as well. So, anyways, it appears that we need a catalyst to get things going here, and the catalyst could be coming today. So, if we look at the news that's on deck for today, right? We have the FOMC meeting minutes are going to be on it at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Maybe we get a shake and bake at that point in time. And then if we are going to start getting a rally up towards the cash market 7,000, which would be a 90, basically 95 points higher than where the ES closed yesterday. And we have today and tomorrow to get there. But that's basically, I think, the catalyst that would be there. If you look at tomorrow, right, you got unemployment claims in the morning. I don't think that's going to do it. You have, natty gas and crude, a lot of bank holidays, and then, futures will be closed. There will be no trading at all on the first, right? And then, so Wednesday, tomorrow will be a full session, and then we'll be closed for the entire session on Thursday. Futures will open up, Thursday night for the Friday session as normal, and then Friday will be a full session as well. So, just the perfect day off there, uh, if you will. So, if we're going to get that run up to 7,000, I think, we'll see if we get it. So, start doing your analysis, see what you would, this may or may not cause volatility, but if anything is going to cause volatility between now and the end of the year, this is the scheduled print that could do it. So keep that in mind. That's at 2 o'clock today. Should be a little bit of a shake and bake, if nothing else, and then we'll see, what the market wants to do. Remember, Jack's 25-minute time cycles after the print, so where we're going to be at by 225 this afternoon is really what I think you want to watch. And then looking at, and you can even see the gamma, even though we haven't traded here, there's even some puts, right? Some people have, you know, uh, put some positions on longer short at the 7K on the puts as well. That's tapped in the last few sessions as well. And then for the SPY, we're currently trading 687 half, right? So just under the 688. So 688, 689 is supposed to be your floor, but we're under the floor, right? So keep in mind those 20 points could be, um, like a churn and burn area. And then we'll have to see which side after the initial bounce. Are we above 689 or are we below 688? I think will be a good tell. And then definitely once the minutes come out, you want to see, after that first time cycle going into the close, if you're going to be around doing that, which side are you on at 225 this afternoon? Are you, above that 689 or are you below the 688? And then for today, uh, there's not a lot going on here. I don't think there's a snowball's chance in hell we can print 715. Um, so looking at the Qs in the same way, we are currently trading basically 620 on the Qs right now. And you can see there's a lot of gamma uh, both on the calls and the puts at 620 today. And then that agreeable area is really between 620 and 622. And then you could get up for the bulls, right? Right around 626. So just over that 625. There's not a lot going on, and 615 should be your floor for the week, really. Uh, if we're gonna start, coming back down, at least into yeah, that's going to be Friday's close at 6:15. That's where that floor comes from. So that would be your outside downside. I wouldn't chase if we do start, getting um, gone, VIX starts rising, we start, one time framing down. I wouldn't chase past 615. That's only going to be 200 points lower than we are right now on the Nasdaq. So not a lot of room to the downside and to the upside. We'll have to see if we can get past 626. That would be, basically around 240 points higher than we're currently trading. So I think kind of tight here, to be honest with you, for today at least. Not that you can't, do a lot with that, especially if we test lower and then come back up and rip higher. So we'll see what we get from there. Uh, Keep in mind that the VIX is just sitting here really at the lower end, right? At this um, 615 half, 6. Let me try this again. 16 half to 1660 is where we're currently trading. And you can see, again, those Qs just sitting here right on the 620. That's kind of a flip line. And there's a lot of gamma there. If you pull this down, if we, again, 617 would be on your low side, 625, 626 on your high side. And then looking at the cash market again, that draw is going to be up towards 7,000. That's still 100 handles higher. And then you've got basically, you know, 30 handles lower would be the low end of today's expected move. Uh, and then I think that you could get close to this 650 today, potentially, and then we'll have to see how it goes. But uh, on the near term, again, for the morning session, I'll be watching to see if you can clear over 688, right? That was supposed to be your support for today, and it's been your resistance once we crossed over it, so that could flip, getting above it. That's going to be the first key, I think, to today's action, and then we'll see what we get. But remember, I think the shake and bake and the real action is going to happen probably in the last, 90 minutes to 2 hours of today's session, and the rest of it could be just a setup for that. So we'll see if that is indeed our catalyst to start, driving us higher. Maybe we get a little bit of a move lower once it prints out, and then we start one time framing higher after that. But 7,000 on the cash market is your bogey for the close tomorrow, and I think we really need to start heading there today to be able to see it. Otherwise, it's not going to be in play at all. I hope this helps. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.